Good evening. I'll apologise in advance because it's the 27th of December, and if I sound a little bit slurred, there's a good reason for that. 27th of December. I've got some shoulder and back problems at the moment, but I've been off the painkillers just solely for the fact that I can drink over Christmas. So there you go. I might ramble a little bit, not too much, I hope. Right, the whole point of this video is Christmas knives. Christmas knives 2020. My brother and my sister both got me some Christmas knives. I'll start with, I've got one for the collection and I've got two for the kitchen. So let's have a look at the collection one first. It's this is all backwards to you, by the way. For some reason my tablet does that. It's all backwards. It's a Lorax, so Heine Haynes. It's my very first Rough Rider. I've not had a Rough Rider before. I have a bit of a problem these days buying knives from China. But my collection needed... It's 2 degrees. Yeah, this is my shed, by the way. My shed. 2 degrees on the 27th of December. It's going to get colder than this. Yeah, that's just first off topic ramble. Here's my shed. This is my brewing section. At the back there, you've got my my car section. That's all of my various consumables, plus a few ramps and stuff. Anyway, back to knives. Right, my very first Rough Rider. The first thing I'm going to say before I even show you the knife is an interesting anomaly I've noticed in Rough Rider. That's my feet. I promise you that's my feet, by the way. An interesting anomaly I've noticed with Rough Rider is that they're a Chinese company who market the US and Europe, and the basis of their company the basis of their product line seems to be mostly, from what I can tell, classic American knives. I'm a big fan of traditional European knives. I'm yet to venture. This is my first little step into it. I'm yet to venture into US knives. Rough Rider's a good place to start. However, Rough Rider, if you go to Heine Haynes, or if you have a look on Google to try and find Rough Rider's website, it's spelt with an I. Rider with an I. Everything, it's all spelt with an I. Weirdly, the box that this one came in, I know it's backwards, I'm sure you can still see Rider is very definitely spelt with a Y. And if we have a little look around there, yeah, it's backwards, but you can see their website is spelt with a Y. You try and get that website, it doesn't exist. These people, I don't know, I really don't know how they've managed it, but they've misspelt their own company name on their box, and they've also misspelt the website. If you put Rough Rider spelt properly into Google, it takes you straight to Heine Haynes. I'd do that, to be honest. So here we go. My first, traditional American knife. It's I thought I had to start with the Stockman. Excuse my grubby hands, I've been doing grubby things. This is the large Stockman. I went for a Stockman because it is a knife I like. It's not a multi-tool type knife, it's not a Victorinox type thing. It's just a knife, but it has 3 very distinct blades. 3 very classic blades, all of which I really like. So this is a good knife for my collection. The main blade, this isn't a UK EDC, no excuse required knife. It's a little bit too big. It doesn't lock, it's only a slip joint, so in that sense it's legal. But this main blade is, it's got a half stop. Love a half stop. This main blade's actually, the cutting edge is 3¼ inches. The entire blade is 3½, so it's just a little bit too big to be UK EDC-able. But it's just for the collection. That's why I wanted this knife. I specifically asked for this knife. Yeah, nice little, well, that's not a drop point, is it? It's a clip point. Yeah, nice little clip point. Reminds me somewhat of my, oh God, why did I do that? Reminds me somewhat of my Buck 110. There you go. It's a bit like a Buck 110, that sort of shape. Very nice big nail nicks. Easy to open. No fiddling around like with the Victorinox, as much as I love them. I love the half stop. It's great. Blade number 2. Is a spay blade. Now that is used for castrating cattle. Not a pleasant job, but this is a stockman knife. Stockman meaning the man who looks after the stock, the cows. So that's a castration knife. Very nice. And actually the sharpness, don't know why castration made me think of how sharp it is, but the sharpness on these isn't too bad at all. It is usable. I've brought them out here to the shed actually so that I can give them a bit of a strop and just finish the edge off nicely. But out of the box, they are usable. Little bit toothy. I've tried it on some paper, a bit on the toothy side, but you know, we all know all that requires is a little bit of a strop on some leather and it's done. Blade number 3. Classic sheep's foot. It's really close to the British Army knife sheep's foot. Same size in all dimensions, same shape. The only real difference is this has actually got a better nail nick on it. Easier to open. I'm not sure that the steel used on this is as good as the steel on the British Army sheep's foot. Probably not for the price. But the main blade, let's get that one open again. It says on the back here, I'll try and show you it once I've read it, 440 razor sharp steel. There you go. A little bit of print there says 440 razor sharp steel. 440, I'm guessing for the price it's 440A. It's not, I mean 440C, actually I've got lots of 440C knives and they're lovely. I'm guessing for the price that 440A is what we're looking at here. Now you get lots of choices with the scale materials on Rough Riders. This one is stag bone, which has been, there you go, machined, milled out to give it a bit of texture and actually make it resemble antler. It looks more like antler with the sort of riven finish, but it's bone according to everything I've read. It's a nice little knife for the collection. I wouldn't use it EDC, it's not legal to use it UK EDC. The fit and finish is Rough Rider, the clue's in the name, rough. By the way, Chris, I'm not criticising the knife you bought. I asked, you know, I'm not criticising the knife you bought me. I asked specifically for this knife. But yeah, look at the, if you look at the finish on here, the pins are sitting very proud of the scales. It's not actually a problem because they are nicely rounded off. They're not sharp on your hand in any way. They don't hurt when you use the knife. But that's what you get with a Rough Rider. It's a nice example of a classic American knife which I can afford. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to completely write off Rough Rider. We all know what we're buying when we get them. This is my first American knife in the collection, and it's probably inspired me to get, you've got the canoe knives, doctor's knives, those kinds of things. The obvious alternative is Case as a manufacturer, Case knives, but they are pricey. To me, they're pricey. Rough Rider give you an example of an American knife without having to pay silly prices. That's going to sit very proudly in my collection. The other two that I got for Christmas, the other two Christmas knives, I've got a pair of kitchen knives. Both by Opinel. I'm a massive fan of Opinel. I absolutely love their knives. These two are stainless. For a long time, I've been using these in the kitchen. These are Opinel carbon steel vegetable knives, and to be honest, perfectly adequate steak knives. They're made of they seem to be, to me actually, from using them and sharpening them, they seem to be the same sort of steel as you get on an Opinel number 8, number 9, you know, the folding knives that we all know. The only disadvantage is, because they're carbon steel, they're not necessarily all that convenient in the kitchen. Often when you're cooking a big meal, you'll chop something up and it's vegetables and it's wet, and then you'll leave the knife for half an hour and come back and chop something else to add, Within that half an hour, these will start showing signs of corrosion. There's a little bit there, look. It will start showing signs of corrosion. You've got to keep them dry, and you definitely can't leave them sitting in the sink or the dishwasher. My sister got me these two, which are Opinel's stainless steel version. I absolutely love both of them. I used them on Christmas Day to do all the veg for Christmas dinner, and the turkey. This thing in turkey is amazing. Now, what I really like about this one, you've got this hooked end. That makes it absolutely brilliant for really precise thin cuts on any fruit or veg. And probably meat. Really nice, thin, precise cuts. It's beautiful. This serrated one, this is an Opinel number 113. This one's an Opinel number 114. You can see the serrations on that. They're absolutely vicious. That made no problem whatsoever on the turkey or the raw veg. That was a really, really nice little kitchen knife. I'm not sure exactly what these stainless ones cost. A pair, two of these carbon steel ones are £7 from, I think I got them on Knives and Tools UK. They're £7. They're not expensive knives, just like the folding pocket knives that we all know and love. These stainless ones, I'm guessing, they're more expensive, obviously. I'm guessing less than a tenner each, and they're absolutely amazing. I love them. So that was a good knifey Christmas. With the American knife from it. Oh, I'm sorry, it's getting late. With the American knife from my brother, I got the Honey Haynes catalogue, and I've spotted something in here which I'm going to have to buy in 2020. Where's it gone? There she is. The Hori Hori. I don't know if any of you know Hori Hori knives. Just a sec. You can't read that, can you? They drink and they do things. Game of Thrones. Right. Looking through the Honey Haynes catalogue, it's reminded me of a particular knife that I'm definitely going to get this year. It's It's not an expensive knife. It's this one here. It's a traditional Japanese gardening knife. They call it a knife, but it's more than a knife. It's a trowel and a knife and all sorts of different things. Whatever you, a lever, whatever you want to use it for. Reminds me a lot of the you know, the old British Army survival knife. The I think it's called an MD04. It reminds me a lot of one of them. It is just a massive, heavy chunk of steel with a very strong flat edge on the back, very wide, thick, strong flat edge on the back. And the kind of blade that you can use as a knife or an axe, depending on how and where you sharpen it, you know, how you want to use the thing. I've seen these on a few allotment videos on YouTube, and now I've always been impressed by them. I've seen them in use on various allotment videos, and now I've seen one suddenly turn up for what we're looking at, £25.95 in Heine Haynes. I think at some point this year I'm going to have a Hori knife. Looks like just my piece of kit. Right, I'm going to get indoors and eat some cheese and biscuits. Trifle as well. Still got some trifle left. And hopefully some Prosecco. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you all soon. Bye.